Hello everybody, today we're gonna talk about Virtual World. And a little disclaimer before we begin, there is a 108 page guide on the Master Duel Discord on this deck. And since I only have limited time with each deck that I cover, generally I go from Bronze to Plat 5, there is no doubt I will miss something in a deck this complex. So feel free to check out the guide and the Virtual World Discord, I'll link them below. With that out of the way, let's get into the deck. The Virtual Worlds are level 3s and level 6 Psychic monsters. Some of them are tuners giving us 6, 9 and level 12 Synchro Summoning, which is the main focus of the deck. We'll get into the monster effects shortly, but know they all special summon. So it's easy to go into rank 3s and rank 6 Xyz as well. These guys have been on the back burner since the banning of VFD. But with the addition of Power Tool Braver Dragon, we have a little bit more in our toolkit. This, along with Emperor Charles, lets us rip 2 cards out from our opponent's hand via the use of Smoke Grenade of the Thief and the Rod of Silence Kayest. This also gives us Perfect Hand Knowledge, which has given the deck a nice bump in power. So the actual monster effects work like this. All of the Virtual Worlds except Nyan Nyan has a variation of this effect. Target a Virtual World card on the field, say we target Quinlong, then we need to send a card of a different type, trap or monster in this case, to the graveyard. Then we get to special summon our monster, and its unique effect triggers. This can be a Reborn, 2 of them have Rotas, and 1 of them have another Foolish. Then lots of our cards trigger in the grave, most notably the Virtual World Gates. They can modulate levels with Chuche, Reborn with Xamwu, and Rota with Quinlong. So we happily send these to the grave using the monster effects. And that's a basic rundown on how the monsters function. I also run a Fairy Tail Snow and a Blackwing Sephiroth to combine with my level 6 tuners to make Baronne. Also, Fairy Tail Snow is nice for Book of Mooning stuff. Usually use Splash Punk or Adventure in this deck. Punk gives us level 11 Synchro Access and Xyz 8 Axis. And Adventure of course has Nib protection natively, and Griffin goes well with a level 3 tuner to summon Baronne. But again, check out the Virtual World Discord if you want more info. They have deck lists and they have everything. So this is my actual deck list. Most cards here should be no-brainers like Maxi, Ash Blossom. But I'll talk a little bit about my extra deck choices and we can get into a basic combo with the deck. My level 6 synchros are both Draw Power in Stardust Charge Warrior and Coral Dragon. My level 9s are focused on the hand ripping with Emperor Charles and Power Tool Dragon. And Virtual World Shenshen, this is just a nice floodgate, basically it's Macrocosmos on legs. Then we have some spicy picks with Ultimaya Tzolk'in. This card works a little funky, but basically it's a level 10 synchro that isn't super strict on its levels. So as long as you have 2 cards that are at least level 5 and are a tuner and non-tuner, we can bring it out. And thankfully we have just that in Lau Lau and Lili. If we set a card after summoning this, we can use its effect to bring out Power Tool Braver Dragon or Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, depending on our situation. I also run Punk Jam Dragon Drive because I run the Punk variant of the deck. It works well with Virtual World because it can search us Nyan Nyan or Lulu to start our plays. Then in the same Punk combo, we can either go into a rank 8, like number 38, a Spell Negate. That kinda rhymed. Or a Synchro 11, usually Psychic End Punisher. I went with Psychic End because I felt 8 Hours is more consistent compared to a more niched negate. My rank 6s are Potelmi M7 for either removal or to bring back like a Maxi from the grave to our hand, and Beatrice to be able to foolish 2 cards, 1 on our turn and 1 on our opponent's. And this setup can also get Sephiroth and Snow into our grave. Then we have Gaia Dragon for piercing and to stack on top of like our Beatrice, and then to stack a Zeus on top of that. And personally, I couldn't find any space for rank 3s, but common cards to run in that slot are Breaksword and Cicada King. and that's the basic rundown on how the deck functions. Let's get into a basic combo. So here we are with a basic combo with Virtual World. And seeing how we started with Emergency Teleport and have Lulu in hand, means that we can go into the Punk combo. So we get out the Armin, we're gonna search out the Foxy Tune, add that to hand, activate Foxy Tune's effect to send itself to the graveyard to be able to... then we have to send another card, kind of forgot about that. Would have set this up a little bit differently, but I think we can safely send Kirin here. And then we grab out the Deer Note, giving us 8 on field, allowing us to synchro with these guys. Like that. And then the Dragon Drive is going to trigger. Then we're going to want to trigger the Deer Note. And you can either grab the 8 to be able to go into a rank 8 here, or I like to grab the level 3 tuner to go into a level 11 synchro. Then we activate Xiamin at the end to chainlock our opponent. These boys are going to trigger, girls. Then we can grab a Nyan from hand, sure. Or we can actually send it to the grave, but I think we actually add it to hand, yeah. So then Psychic End Punisher goes out. Now this guy, of course, isn't as strong as in the pure versions of this deck, but that's fine. Qualoon gets us a trap card, usually go for Choo Choo, then we go Lulu. Target Choo Choo. Then we can dump a Queenlong. Summon out Lulu. Lulu is going to activate. And then we can add, so Lulu is a tuner, we need a non-tuner to be able to go into our 3s here, so we can go Lily. And then send, yeah, I can really send whatever. Let's send a Nyan, sure. Kirin goes down, gonna activate, can send another Queenlong. This gets us Power Tool Braver access. Power Tool Braver is going to trigger. Going to set up a Chaos and a Smoke Grenade. Chaos is going to destroy the Smoke Grenade, and that is going to trigger its effect, allowing us to take a look at our opponent's hand here. Well, let's say this is a scary Max C or whatever. He would have used Max C, but maybe a nib. We can send it to the grave, maybe it's a starter, we can mess up his place. Then, as you can see, we have Queenlong. We can then add a Gigi. And then we can send the Nyan. So I realized that obviously I should have gone for the Lau Lau and not the Gigi here, because could have gone straight into Charles instead of going into the Stardust and drawing. You'll see. I'll see you guys back in the video. Now, Nyan is different from the other virtual worlds in that it special summons itself when a level 3 is normal or special summoned. Then it makes itself a tuner. If you normal it, it is not a tuner. So we get to send yet another card here. I think we just send the Lau Lau. EG goes down, we can then special summon up the Nyan. And here we have a level 6 synchro. We can go into Stardust, Charge Warrior for the draw, hopefully drawing something we can summon out. We can activate its effect. Nyan triggers when banished to shuffle something back, so we can shuffle something back here. That's fine. Still have the normal, so if we draw something decent here, E-Tally is actually perfect. We can go E-Tally, we can go into the, can go into this guy. And then the Charles goes out. And bada bing, bada boom. And that is a basic setup with the deck. Braver is a negate because we can send the Chaos. Psychic End is unaffected by our opponent's activated effect, given we have less life points than our opponent. So this won't be active all of the time, but it might make your opponent waste their battle phase to get rid of it, which is pretty good regardless. Then it boosts itself in a battle phase by the difference in our life points. In this case it would boost itself to 4700, which is alright, but a access code would be able to run over it. But Charles also triggers in the end phase, allowing us to pick the smoke grenade of the thief back up. That is going to trigger his second effect, allowing us to pop a card, any card, on the field. We can pop the smoke grenade again. This is the first turn, and then we can grab another card from their hand to really mess up their place. Jeju triggers in the end phase, can give us Lao Lao to hand to set up for next turn. This is a Monster Reborn. And that is pretty much it. A basic combo with the Power Tool Braver Virtual World deck. And of course that combo I showed you might not be perfect, but I think that's a pretty good setup. I can get that off pretty consistently, being able to set up 2 hand rips, a negate and a towers, or we could set up 2 negates with the number 38. I like this deck a lot. It has many fun plays and it's quite complex. You never really know where you're gonna end because you have draw power in your combos. You can also run, I saw people run the TG card, what's it called? Hyper Librarian, I want to say? Yes, the Hyper Librarian, to be able to draw more. Not sure how they get this out. I think they do it via Gamma, so it's kind of inconsistent. You can get out Gamma with the emergency teleport, of course. It's a lot of fun, you don't see it a lot. Most people have forgotten how this deck plays, I guess. It used to be like huge when Master Duel came out, but it really fell off after they banned VFD, of course. But I think in this variant, or maybe not this one specifically, I've heard the adventure version is supposed to be stronger, but I kind of cheaped out. Also, I have a Royal Xiaomin, gonna want to use that. But yeah, a fun deck, a pretty complex deck, so if you're familiar with Master Duel, I certainly think you should give this deck at least a try. But with that, I'm gonna wrap up the video. Thank you guys for watching yet another deck list. I'll see you guys soon with, I think I'm gonna take a look at the Mayakashi cards that were just released today. So again, I'll see you guys soon. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. And I'll see you later. Bye.